Welcome, everyone, to Horror Twins Monthly Review, the only podcast with one question. Where you been?
Yes. It's our show.
That's our show.
We haven't been here in a while.
It's, you know what?
We said, hey, we'll get to some Twilight movies for Halloween.
We're going to talk about Past
stuff.
Lives, and The Creator just came out.
That was so long ago.
I think we should try to explain the plot of that movie in as most excruciating detail we can remember.
We should. It's been a long time, and I don't remember much of it.
Yeah. But hey, we're back, and we're here to talk about the movies we've seen since October 17th.
Yeah.
Which is a few, you know? We've seen a few. I've omitted a few.
Me too, yeah.
Simply for, time. We're probably going to end up talking about Star Wars the whole time, guys. It might happen again.
This might be a Star Wars podcast in general.
Oh, do you just want to do that instead forever? Just talk about Star Wars movies?
Every month, every week we talk about Star Wars.
The same movie review every week.
Yeah. We could do that because our opinions seem to change at least every week, if not
just
more.
about.
Just daily. I feel like my opinion changes.
It morphs. It grows.
But
we mature.
I rewatched a Star Wars movie. You rewatched
5.
a few Star Wars movies.
4.
And we're still kind of reeling about Ahsoka. I've completely forgotten about it.
Yeah, isn't that indicative? Did you think?
I'll wait. We can wait till next week to talk, or next month to talk about Loki, because it'll wrap up next week.
Right.
I'm into it.
Oh,
but we can.
That reminds me. While we're here at the top of the channel, I have canceled my Disney Plus subscription. Oh. This is big news. Oh boy. Yes. So
you finally did it.
So Disney was like,
"Screw
hey,
you, Disney.
We know that you love everything we produce, and nothing is bad about our shows, and we actually produce everything really well and pay our workers a fair wage. So we thought it'd be cool, it'd be chill, if we doubled the price of the yearly subscription, and offered no new things for you. So
yeah.
What was $80 a year is going to be $140 a year, which is an outrage. And I got the email, and 2 days later I canceled.
He will not stand for it.
With the approval of my family, who said, yeah, we don't really use Disney Plus. I was like, dang, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So I have canceled my subscription, and we'll see what happens with, maybe I'll get a month back when Skeleton Crew and Acolyte come back.
Yeah.
But it's like, at the end of the day, I never even used, like, the Nat Geo tab in there.
No.
I didn't get the urge to watch all the DCOM movies. It just, like, I was there for Marvel and Star Wars, and Marvel and Star Wars is not producing, and what they are producing is trash. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm on it. I watch Loki, but other than that, I'm not watching anything else on that. And like, I watch some Star Wars movies, but I'm like, am I gonna stream these, or am I gonna put in my pristine Blu-ray discs?
Whew.
I'm doing that all the way, or my 4K discs.
Yeah, you know what I found in my house before I moved here to this new house was a VHS tape of The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, wow.
So maybe I'll just pop that sucker in, and we'll be on our way, because that's fire.
A good time. Yeah, VHS is pretty good.
Yeah, how much was your Blu-ray player? 40, 50?
I got a 4K player for $50, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It could be worth the investment.
Facebook Marketplace. Then you just gotta buy 4Ks.
Then I just gotta buy all the Blu-rays of every movie ever. I mean, it would be cool to have a nice wall full of... Oh.
Yeah.
A nice wall full of...
I used to have that.
DVD cases and stuff. That'd be nice.
I have a pretty good Blu-ray collection, but they're all in my... I have a binder folder now.
Yeah.
What are those called? Like a binder, like a disc library.
Sure.
Flip book.
Yeah. I'd call that I'd go with binder. That's all right.
Yeah. I used to have them all on my shelf, and then when we got married, I was like, I probably shouldn't take up an entire shelf with these Blu-ray discs.
Now that you're a content creator, a podcast co-host, I think it's only right that you have a beautiful display case like these unread books and these undecorated lights and these empty soda cans to really just give off the vibes.
Really good stuff, yeah. You got a new sign up there.
My Going to the Sun Road. I got some stickers going. This poster way over yonder that's out of frame, it's going to move. I'm gonna.
Oh.
So you can see here for the visual watchers, we got over here Larry the Cucumber, the cow, stuff I didn't want you to see on my bed, that I forgot was there, and those 4 Star Wars posters.
That's a nice ramen pillow.
Yes, ramen pillow. He's lovely. I did make my bed today, so shout out to me.
That's good.
Those Star Wars posters are gonna move to be more in the shot, because the shot is everything that matters in this room. So yeah, Going to the Sun Road, that's a classic sign. It was in my room for years on the little pillar, if you remember the pillar.
Oh yeah.
It kind of blended into the green that we painted there.
Yeah.
But now it's Going to the Sun Road. For the video listeners, it will be correctly worded for you guys as I have flipped the image. Obviously my Discord camera is backwards for Jordan here, so I don't know if he can read it easily, but
I can. It looks great to me.
Amazing. Fantastic. So
fantastic.
Yeah, the shot is always changing, it's always improving, and we're excited for it.
Because we're always making so much content. Shot.
Every time we get here, once a month.
Every day, the grind never stops.
The grind is never ending.
The shot must be correct.
Yeah, and eventually I'll get my these lights set up again, and then I'll have a weird little rotating color wheel on the side of my face, which will just really elevate the whole production of the entire show. So we're excited for that. Should we talk about movies now?
I think
my question.
We've watched a few.
Okay. So I'd like to get right into it with some John Wick hate for you guys.
He hates John Wick. Sucks. But I love it.
It's a bit of a bit. I will admit, most of the hate for John Wick is strictly because Jordan is so obsessed. I watched,
and I forced you to watch all 4 of them.
No. That's not true. The internet in general forced it upon me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I watched Extraction 1 and 2 on Netflix. These are N films, as they are called, starring Chris Hemsworth as Trevor Lake or something, I think is his name.
Tyler Rake, I believe.
Tyler Rake. Yes, not Trevor Lake.
It's close.
We'll see. Yeah. And then people are like, "Oh, Trevor Lake, that's not cool as John Wick," you know. It's an obvious.
They're right.
It's an obvious. What do you call that when you copy something and change it slightly? A ripoff.
Ripoff. Yeah.
Because it's 4 letters and has a K in the sound in the end.
Tyler Rake.
Tyler Wake. John Wick. I can't even remember it or say it correctly a single time. So, but the movie's not called Tyler Rake; it's called Extraction, and the name of Chris Hemsworth's character doesn't matter at all. No. He's out here, going to random fun places across the globe and saving people from terrible people, and that's just a good time and good funs. Here we have John Wick, who's out here. He's like, "You killed my dog, I'm gonna kill everybody." Great.
Yeah.
Then the next movie
is
he's forced into this thing, and then the next 2 movies are because he was forced into that second thing, which was barely inconsequential for him in the first place. So it's kind of just like he's just in it because someone killed his dog in the first movie, and we made 3 more movies about that. This one, Tyler is out here. He's like, hey, I'm going to save some lives. I'm going to do some good for the world. I'm not just out here killing people to kill people because they killed my dog because I killed them, you know? And I get it. It's fun. There's a lot of style in John Wick, I will say. The attention to detail, the care that Stahelski is putting in there is great. You know, the realism, the reloading, all that sort of stuff is really cool.
How every time John Wick kills somebody, he shoots them twice in the chest and once in the head. It's great.
It's great. Yeah. Oh wow. You know, it really is pretty sweet.
He leaves nobody without a shot to the head, regardless of whether they're dead or not.
Right. He stabbed him in the gut,
every
punched
kill
him 12 times, shot him twice in the chest. They're on the floor already. Pop, pop.
Pop, pop.
Yeah.
Right in the face.
But I just like Extraction more, you know? What can I say? Goldschmidt is in it. The mom from Invasion.
She's great.
She is
great. She's a great actress.
Yep. I like her a lot. She's great. And
Invasion.
Yeah.
Invasion season 2 sucks, dude.
Tell me all about it, man.
It's trash.
Oh, okay. Moving on.
Yeah, keep talking about Extraction. I'll talk about it in a minute.
Well, that's pretty much all I had to say. The second one was fun.
You just enjoyed it.
We got more Goldschmidt in the second one, which was great. Along with her brother, who's actor and name of the character I do not remember at all. I will say, the movie is predictable. Like I know where it's going, but you know maybe it's not the kind of movie where being able to predict it is like a bad thing. It's just fun, dumb action.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
it's a good time.
In an opposite truth of that, on the other side of the same coin, that's what I was going for.
Double-edged coin.
The movie RRR.
Oh yeah. Everybody's favorite movie of all time.
R and an R and another R, is what they. Okay, so have you ever watched Telugu cinema?
No.
Tegulu? I don't remember.
I couldn't tell you. I'm hearing this for the first time.
It is unfathomably amazing.
Is it as good as everybody said? Because everybody who's seen it is like, you can't believe this movie, man. You can't believe it.
You can't. I genuinely, like, I'm sitting there 90% of the film with my jaw on the floor. Like, it is like, I said in my Letterboxd review, I said, it's like watching a movie where you're sitting there in your head and you're like, oh, it would be really cool if he did this stunt, or what if he did this with the spear, and then he just does it. They take the two main characters, right? You got the British service member guy, and you have the guy in the tribe trying to save the girl who was kidnapped.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they both their character intros. You get the policeman, serviceman. Mm-hmm. He is forced to arrest a guy in the middle of a mob, and he like John Wick amount of people trying to kill him. He beats them all. It completely stops this rebellion. It's insurmountable force that he overcomes and gets this guy back into the police station. It's like, this guy is him. Okay, that's what that's what they're trying to say at the beginning of the movie. They're like, this guy is the guy, and then it cuts to another dude who fights a tiger and wins and traps him in this cage, or in a net, and he has to pull these chains together to tie it back, and his calves are exploding in his veins, and he's screaming, and his mustache is perfect, and he is him. He is the coolest guy of all time, and you get these two dudes, and then
they're both him.
They're both him, and the movie's basically like they get together. They're opposing forces, but it's also like a rom-com bromance for a bit, and they they like fall in love with each other in Bro.
Okay.
And they like become best friends while also working against each other, but they don't know that they're each other's enemies. And then they, you know, it climaxes. They reveal each other's identity. They have a big fight, and they betray each other. And the guy who's trying to save the girl escapes and almost kills his best friend, but decides not to. He just can't do it. And then it's like, oh, no. But then the movie, it doesn't end. The movie doesn't end there. It keeps going. It's like, okay, now we see that the policeman was actually, like, literally we go back in time to the child times of the policeman. And we're like, look at this guy. He's actually working on the inside to try to get a bunch of guns for his village so that they can fight the British themselves. And then we're like, oh, no, he was a good guy the whole time.
Bro.
And then he's like, oh, my gosh. And he meets the policeman's wife, fiance, rather. And she's like, no, he's a good guy. He wrote me this letter, and he said it tore him up inside to betray his best friend. And he's like, I'm his best friend. I almost killed him. And then he's like, I will save him. And he busts in to the prison, and he's like, I gotta save you. I'm here to save you. And then they fight out all the British again, and they get out. And it's like, oh, wow. But I mean, literally, these guys, it was amazing. I was floored. If you go into it and you're like, the effects are really bad, and clearly the actors aren't really doing a good job, and people don't fly like that.
Actually, people can't fly, so
yeah,
this is a bad
if that guy
movie.
jumped off a 30-foot wall, his knees would probably break. Like, you're not having fun. This movie is obviously the suspension of disbelief. You gotta really rack it up, okay? You gotta really put it at the top, because some of the stuff you see in this movie is like unfathomable. Yeah, I mean, just
unfathomable.
I just genuinely like, wow, what I saw, I cannot describe.
Where's this movie? Where can I watch it?
I just saw it on Netflix.
On Netflix?
Yes, right after watching a movie called Whiplash.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's
I thought
a
it was
really
all right.
good one.
No, I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, basically 5.
Pretty close.
It's basically 5.
And I had a long philosophical debate with myself.
You did.
And it may have been all for naught.
I think it was, probably. We can get to that. But
my point still stands.
Exactly. That's what I said. I was like, you're right, but that's also the point of the movie.
Wow. I'm arguing more against Fletcher than
yes
than the movie.
I just didn't want that to reflect your score, because I think it's like it's like
no, and I said before, I put a little parentheses in the paragraph. I was like, before you read this rant, know that this is not a slight against the movie. Just a philosophical debate I'm going to have real quick. And then I wrote it, and I rewrote it, and then I rewrote it one more time.
It's a thought-provoking movie.
It really is.
It's not a happy ending for anybody. But yeah, just quickly, Invasion Season 2 sucked. You know, it's like the second installment in a movie trilogy, where it's more akin to like Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, where it's like, why did you make this? Did you really need to stretch out these details for this long? Mm-hmm. Because Invasion Season 2 is like... So, are you going to watch it? Do you care if I spoil it?
If they make a Season 3 and you think it's good, then I will Spark Notes it, so feel free to go ahead and spoil it.
Yeah, well, the thing is there's not much to spoil, because nothing happens the entire time.
Oh, it's like so it's like Last Jedi?
Moving on.
For the record, that was with obvious sarcasm and air quotes. The Last Jedi is probably the best Star Wars movie there is.
It probably is. I think it might be the best one ever made. And
We'll see when I get there.
Yeah, I don't know,
in the
man.
rewatch here soon.
It's pretty good. The first season ends, and then the second season begins, and it's like
Wow.
it's like a year or so later, or a couple years later. I don't remember. But
the invasion.
we talked about
season 2 has really begun.
Mitsuki is out there killing aliens with Molotov cocktails and stuff, but then that stuff immediately stops, and she gets introduced to. So at the end of the first season, they nuke a big ship, the mothership, and that kills all the aliens.
Yes,
when they nuked the ship, a big part of it fell to Earth, and so evil Elon Musk guy is here. He set up shop at this.
Are you saying
just
that
Elon Musk?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's just Elon Musk. He sets up shop and he's like, "We're gonna figure out how to talk to these aliens, and we're gonna win this war, and I'm gonna be rich."
Nice.
And so he's set up with a bunch of scientists, and they're like, "We need the girl who helped us blow up the ship the first time." So they get Mitsuki, and she comes there, and they discover in the ship. They want her to figure out how to talk to this entity that's in the ship. The thing that I described, it's like a wibbly wobbly is the word I used last time. It's like a translucent cloud looking thing that kind of bubbles around in this room.
Wow.
And then they figure out it's like some sort of radiation. Mitsuki kind of figures out how to get it to react to certain things. And then they're like, eventually they figure out it's a portal.
Oh.
While this is happening, you got the kids.
Yes, the kids. I care about the kids. What's up with the kids?
So the kids, the girl who likes the boy, right? Mm-hmm. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh,
yeah. She is like, I gotta go find Casper. Casper's his name. The important kid. The Messiah figure kid. Yeah. She's been having dreams, and in the dreams, Casper's there speaking to her like he's in the room with her and stuff. And he's like, "Come find me in Paris." So she's
How did
like
he end up in
13.
Paris?
She's like 13 years old. The doctors took him to Paris to study his brain, whatever. And so the girl that likes Casper, and the mean kid from the first season, and the two nice kids from the first season,
good.
They gang up, squad up, and they travel from London to Paris. And they just make it all the way there with little to no trouble.
Sure.
And they're just they're like 13, and they just
aliens
travel all the way over there. They encounter some aliens. And what I was talking, you were like, I didn't watch it because the aliens were too easy to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens is the aliens, which is not that interesting. I'm not really spoiling that much for you. They evolve, so all of them kind of collapse, and then they turn into eggs, and then they hatch as like rhino-looking things, and now they're harder to kill. Yeah, they're like they can run faster.
Evolved. They leveled up.
Like, they did. They leveled up. They're harder to kill. The mom and the kids, her name I don't remember. Goshfete, the best actress in the world. Mm-hmm. She's so good. She has joined like the essentially the Fireflies of this situation.
Okay,
the resistance. Right. Yes. Yeah. The resistance to, I don't know, the vague government that exists. There's a female president, and I don't know. They don't want to comply with whatever. I don't know. They're called the movement.
Ah, okay. Yes, the movement.
The movement. She starts hanging out with them because they catch her stealing some gasoline for her car.
Right.
And then they have the shard that the government wants.
Right.
So they find that, and then the daughter gets kidnapped and stuff, and then army guy goes to Ohio, I think. No, Oklahoma, where that thing happened in the first. No. It was Oklahoma. Oklahoma. He goes there because he has the book that Casper did all the drawings in. Mm-hmm. He goes there. Who else is there? Is that it? All the plot lines?
Sam Neill. Yeah.
Sam Neill never comes back, but he
Well,
That's
he
the
got
site
murked
of his
in,
event in Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they discover the aliens have been abducting people in Oklahoma.
What?
And anyway, so all of these plot lines, they just like, it's hard to explain other than just like they are. It feels like all of them are just stretched over this entire season. There's only 10 episodes, but they're long episodes.
Yeah.
And they're stretched so long and so thin, and nothing happens. And then you get to the end, and they're like, "We figured out how to go into the portal, yeah." And then it just ends, and you're like,
Do they go into the portal?
They did, but you don't get to see anything happen because the show ends, and then you're like, "Bah." That's the first interesting thing that happened in the entire season.
Yikes!
So
and it's the
like,
last thing that happened in the entire season.
Yeah.
Does the dad
I don't know,
come back?
No, he's dead. Dang. He's very dead.
Oh,
got
tell me
eaten by
about
that
the
alien.
twerp, the annoying kid. That
Annoying kid kind
that
of has
loved
a
his dad.
redemption arc.
Okay.
And then a little love triangle starts to happen between Casper, the girl, and the mean kid. 'Cause he starts being nice.
Oh no. And girl likes him or guy likes him?
Girl likes him.
Mean boy.
Yeah, because he's kind of
Outrage.
nice now, and he's taking care of his little sister.
Outrage.
And Casper's being a weird, like, little telekinetic Messiah boy, and
that
she's
is
like,
a
"This
little
is
weird.
weird."
That is a little weird, to be fair.
I want somebody normal, thank you.
Yeah. Don't say it like that.
Anyway, it was one of those seasons where I felt like I was like, after I finished it, I was like, that was a waste of 10 hours of my life.
Just 10 hours.
It's 10 episodes, and every episode is an hour, basically.
Ugh.
Blah.
But you know what's not a waste of your time? The Last of Us
What?
Part 2.
The Last of Us Part 2. Speaking of The Last of Us,
That's right.
I have been playing The Last of Us Part 2, and I literally thought I was done. I literally thought the game was about to be over.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So you've watched the playthrough.
It's true.
So I get to the whole game up to where I am now was trying to get to Abby, right?
Mhm.
I'm with Dina, and Jesse shows up eventually, and we're going through Seattle, and
Day 3.
and it's like, so here's the thing. I'm not a gamer. I have played maybe one video game to completion, like a story
Spider-Man?
video game. Not even Spider-Man. I'm trying to finish it. I didn't get very far in Spider-Man either because I got bored.
Unbelievable.
You can only swing for so long, and then it was like,
Literally, I
whatever.
finished the game and then kept playing for like 2 months, just swinging around and fighting crime. I don't understand.
yeah, it is very fun. I'll play it. When
But
I'm done with this game.
Last of Us is more important.
I've played Batman Arkham City all the way through, and I think that's the only game I've ever, like, other than like maybe a Mario game, like Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild.
Mario Odyssey
I've
is
played.
just phenomenal.
Yeah.
What a game.
But games like this I just haven't played much of, so I'm not. My brain isn't conditioned to the pacing of these type of games, and they expect you to like go into all the buildings and open all the drawers and find all the stuff, and I'm just not interested in any of that.
Can I?
But I've been doing most of it.
Can
go
I
ahead.
just interject specifically on this point because I know it's important?
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
As an avid gamer,
Yes.
gaming earlier today, I can tell you that no one on Earth likes the chest looking around and picking everything up. That's just something people put in games to make the playtime longer. No one actually likes that. It just it's just something you gotta deal with while you get back into the action, and it's like bang, shootout time. You're in the tunnel. You gotta kill this person.
Yeah.
There's only the red light of the flares in the subway tunnel, and there's
Yeah, dude, that
zombies,
was sick.
and you gotta throw a bottle, and it makes a zombie attack the bad guys, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's amazing." and then it's like, okay, let me grab this. Oh, I got a tape, and now I can make a first aid
A
kit.
health kit. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I like all of it, and it's fun, but it's also like I have a hard time sitting down for an hour and playing a video game for some reason. An hour is a long time for me to play a video game. It's like, I don't know. I was ready to come into this episode and be like, I don't like video games. Because like up until this point in the game, it's like you're in Seattle and you're with Dina and it's just a series of breaking into buildings. There's some infected in there, and then there's some people in there probably, and you run into new people and you got to stealth around and kill them one by one. Or if you want to go full shootout mode, you can, but you'll probably die.
Probably.
Or you can just run. Sometimes I just run through them all and get to the door I need to go to, and then it's fine. But it's like it's kind of that cycle, and then you like find a new group of people, and then you find this cult of like people that are sacrificing people that they find to this woman, which I don't know anything about that yet.
Have they whistled yet?
I got to the whistling people.
Oh,
pretty spooky.
Terrifying.
Pretty spooky. I didn't know that was coming. I was getting bored with the, and then like they start doing these flashbacks with, and then you gotta play as little Ellie and Joel, and I'm just like,
okay,
I'm just not into it.
You know,
dude.
honestly,
I'm just like, give me back.
If you can't enjoy the flashbacks with like the zoo, you went to the zoo and you sat in and you did the astronaut stuff, right? In space.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
It's so amazing.
I like the cinematics, like watching what happens with them and like seeing their interaction. Mm-hmm. I hate having to play those things. You know what I mean? I hate having to look around a zoo and walk over to a dinosaur and press triangle, and Ellie's like, "This is this kind of dinosaur," and then I walk to another dinosaur and do the same thing a few times.
But then they put the hat on the dinosaur.
I'm just not into it, man. But the cinematics were cute, and then they're in the spaceship, and she puts on the headphones and whatever. There's a little moment.
Yeah. Oh wow. It's just like, I didn't even play it. I watched somebody else play the boring parts of the game, and I sat there like, just amazed. It just looked like such a good time.
I don't know. It wasn't. That kind of stuff wasn't for me. Because then, fast forward to now, I am what I think in the final act of the game, because I finally get to the aquarium where we've been trying to get to this whole time. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, I keep getting to places, we find a place where somebody is, right, that we need to talk to and interrogate, and we go there, and then you get them, and it's like, oh, they didn't say anything, and then we keep going back to the theater, and like we finally got to the aquarium, and Abby's not there, and then they just go all the way back to the theater. I was like, somebody probably followed you. And I was right. Because then did
you find anybody at the aquarium?
Yeah, there were people there. There were 2 people there that I murdered brutally for some reason. Yes. Which also, I was like, okay. So what happens is you get to the aquarium, which you've been trying to get to for what I think is the entire game. And then you find these 2 people, and then immediately murder them both when I need to get information out of them. And I don't even have a choice. The cinematic just makes Ellie murder the pregnant lady.
Yeah.
For no reason. Like, you needed information from her. Why did you do this? But I guess
they killed Joel.
I know. Okay, here's the other thing.
Uh-oh.
As I'm unpacking my thoughts.
Yes.
And this was the other thing because again, I thought we were at the end of the game. And up until this point, Ellie has like, she doesn't seem upset really at all that Joel is dead. She's just kind of like vibing around, just like walking around, talking to herself, talking to Dina, making jokes, cracking jokes, hanging out and stuff, playing guitar and such. Like, Joel gets murdered in front of her, and she's a little angry, but then after that, she's just like, all right, come on, let's go find Abby. We gotta go find Abby. And then it's just like, I was like, I don't feel the emotion, you know?
Interesting.
Like, and she's kind of angry at Abby, but she doesn't really seem that upset about it. And then she's ready to kind of pack it up and go home, because they got to get Dina home because Dina's pregnant.
What?
But then Abby's like, I'm here now. And she kills Jesse, and then she has Tommy on the floor. And then it cuts to an Abby flashback.
Yes.
And I like throw my controller. I'm like, that's it, I'm done. And because I'm like, oh, we're almost done, and they're making me do this. But then I text you today, and you're like, dude, you're like halfway through. I'm like, bro, no way.
Yeah. This is...
I can't imagine playing more of this game. I'm having a great time, and I will gladly play the rest of it. But I was shocked.
So you haven't played through the flashback yet with Abby?
No, I have not.
Okay. Then I won't spoil the... I don't remember what you know of the story. I don't remember how far you got playing the game yourself. Or watching someone else play. Because you did watch a bit of a playthrough, right?
I did. I didn't make it very far. I watched until they got to the theater, basically. And that was it. The first time. No, yeah. Dina says I'm pregnant, and then I think that's when I stopped watching. So there was I know nothing going forward.
Okay, yeah. So then I won't say anything. But just know this Abby flashback and the subsequent parts of this game is the make or break. Okay? This is the make or break. If you need to go into this with an open heart and an open mind.
I will. Yeah.
And if you enjoy it, it could be one of your favorite games of all time. If you don't like it,
fair enough.
It'll be a colossal waste of time, and you will really not like it. However,
fair enough.
All of this gaming that you're going through is for a very specific reason, and that is, of course, Last of Us, the show, second season, which will be coming out on
very much
on Max, the one to watch for HBO.
Yes,
which is very exciting
eventually.
and fun and new. Should the actors strike end in favor of the actors, of course.
Yeah, hopefully. One day.
So we're all very excited, and I think it's going to be a really divisive season.
Do you think they're doing they talked about splitting the second game into 2 seasons?
Honestly, could be worth.
Because, I mean, I'm only halfway through the game, and I was like, this is a season of a show, so...
Yeah, it honestly could be worth.
Could very well be.
It would... It's gonna... Either they split it in half and it goes as the game went, or they're gonna have to really manipulate how the game was played and change the... Because there's some time traveling to occur. So,
yeah, I think they talked about like maybe they were going to do a first season, or the next season might be like the time in between the first game and the second game, leading up to the second game. I don't know, because there's a lot of time. There's like 5 years in between.
There's time in between, but the reason they would do that, I feel like, is to set up the encounter with Joel and Ellie, and like her confronting him about the ending of the last season. And that happens in the game.
She didn't have any emotion to that either, really.
I don't.
I was like, okay.
I don't know if that's worth a whole season, really.
Yeah.
So, but maybe it could build a lot more character for those two as a pair, leading into what will surely be a powerful first episode of season 2.
Oh yes.
Assuming they get to Joel's death in the first episode.
They probably should.
I think that would be a great cut to black, just like it was in the game.
Yeah.
With Bella Ramsey screaming.
Especially for people that don't know what's coming. I mean, like it's it's Pedro Pascal. And Pedro Pascal gets murdered in front of you in the first episode of the next season.
They're like, what?
Like, damn.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Pedro
to watch
Pascal is no longer the
outrage
moment
on the internet.
Yeah.
No, he is dead.
He is dead. And
they killed him.
And watch Mando die in the movie as well.
Oh my gosh, dude! Don't even. I hate the Mandalorian.
Dude, same. Actually,
I do have a new Star Wars ranking.
Actually,
so
though,
we can discuss that.
Season 2 of Mandalorian was all right.
I love the first season. First season is great for me.
It was like this, and then it was like this, and then it was like this.
Yeah. I will say, I'll have to swallow some pride. I did see some Twitter clips this week of of some scenes from Obi-Wan Kenobi that I had forgotten about, and then I thought, you know what, that doesn't look too bad. You know, maybe I should revisit this show.
Are you talking specifically about Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting in or sparring on Coruscant?
No, I don't care about that. I'm talking about the scene where Darth Vader drags Obi-Wan through a bunch of flames. I was like, whoa, that is sick. I forgot about that.
Show's good,
and he
man.
goes,
great.
now you burn as I did. And then he drags him through flames. I was like, whoa.
You're like, whoa.
That's cool.
What about the part when Darth Vader holds that ship in the air with the Force?
I don't care. I don't care about that either.
That was awesome.
You know what? You know what? Similar. There's a similar scene to that that's done a million times better in a movie called The Rise of Skywalker, which I watched recently.
Are you actually serious with this? Are you the Chewie death fake out? Is this what you're referring to?
Yes. Set aside the Chewie death fake out. What happens in the scene with her holding the ship. It's shot much better and it looks much better and it's much cooler.
That's fine.
Then that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's
all right. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll back off.
The idea that they were like, oh my gosh, Chewie died in that ship,
and then 30 seconds later, they're like, no.
No, he didn't, guys. It's okay. It's fine. You're so relieved, and all of us are like, yeah.
You weren't gonna kill. That's fine.
You weren't going to kill Chewbacca. I mean, that would be crazy if they killed Chewbacca in The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. Can you imagine?
In the middle of the movie. For no reason.
Okay. Do you want me to talk about this movie?
Yeah, hit me.
I did
Just
watch
punch
it.
me in the face while you do it.
This is the Star Wars
That's what you're doing to my
section
heart when you give this movie praise.
Now, let me start by using a visual aid of sorts.
Oh. You about to share your screen with me?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Right. You have a whiteboard.
unless you want to see my Star Wars ranking here. My Star Wars ranking, we both had The Rise of Skywalker at the very bottom.
It's so true.
The worst.
Really?
Actually, I thought you
had Obi-Wan at the bottom at the time.
You're right. The most recent ranking, I had Boba Fett and Obi-Wan at the bottom, and then Rise of Skywalker at 15.
What about the primary color biker guys in Boba Fett? They're so cool.
I should rewatch the show, I guess, but I rewatched the Mandalorian episodes a couple times. But The Rise of Skywalker is now in my top 10 Star Wars properties of all time. How does that make you feel?
Are you?
I said this to you. I sent you by ranking. Yeah. There's 17 top on this 10. List, and it's number 10. Okay, how does that make you feel?
Okay. How many prequels are below this? All three?
All three of them. They suck. They're terrible. They're so bad, and I hate them.
That's unreal. Actually, that's crazy.
That's not new information to you. I've never enjoyed the prequels that much. And I'll say the thing. It's all Star Wars, and I love all of it. Just because the prequels are below, he's like, whatever.
Yeah, I remember saying that the first episode we ever recorded. I was like, yeah, all Star Wars is good Star Wars. There's a limit. There's a line. And the Rise of Skywalker crossed that line.
You don't know. Okay, you haven't rewatched this movie since you saw it the first time.
That's true. I've only seen it one time, and
you gotta give it a chance.
I remember it perfectly, frame for frame, every word, every note. It was terrible.
Did you read my long review? Did you?
I remember reading the part that said I no longer hate this movie, and then I think I checked out. I think I blacked out.
Woke
up a week later.
Let me read my review here. So yeah, I went through Ahsoka happened, and I was like, "Dang, Star Wars sucks. I need to watch a good Star Wars." And I watched The Last Jedi, and I thought, "Wow, this movie is amazing." This is the best movie I've ever seen. It's the best Star Wars movie.
Do you have it at number 1 now?
No, it's still number 3, but
fair.
It's number 1. It's the best one, guys. It's so good.
You should get Last Jedi posters.
And we I talked about The Last Jedi, and I thought, okay, you know what? I really love this movie. I kind of haven't watched The Rise of Skywalker that recently. I'm gonna rewatch it. I've been setting up the bit of watching this movie again and telling you that I love it.
It's true.
A while. So yeah, I said I finally did it. I completed my character arc. I watched this again and cured myself of hatred. That was my goal going in. I wanted to heal. Okay. I said I don't hate this movie anymore, and then I go on for a long time, but you didn't read it.
I think I did. I just don't remember anything past.
You probably did.
Yeah.
I said I've come to terms with the overall concept being a shameful attempt to appease an angry group of Star Wars fans derogatory, who were hell-bent on burying the best movie in this trilogy, and probably the best movie in the whole saga.
So true. 0 stars.
They were just like, we're bowing to your demands, you Star Wars fans derogatory, we'll give you
Which is so crazy to
movie.
me. It's just that's so sad.
Yeah. It is ridiculous.
Like, they're going to see the movie anyway. You're going to make the money anyway. It doesn't have to be good. And if you made a movie that they wouldn't like, it better. The Last Jedi is better.
If you make a good movie and people don't like it, it's still a good movie. But if you make a bad movie that people like, it's still a bad movie. Yeah. Okay.
And like, so sad.
That's very sad. And I'll say this: I still only gave it 2.5 stars. Okay, it's not that
pretty high.
It's not that crazy. Okay, it's not that crazy.
That's pretty wild.
I will say everything. So all of the problems that I have with it still pretty much stand. Like with just the blatant disregard for The Last Jedi. Like they're like, we have this beautiful moment in The Last Jedi where a visual representation of the inward character motivations that Rey and Kylo Ren are going through, where they're holding the Skywalker legacy and the balance of the two of them, and their individual will is too strong to contain this legacy, and it destroys it completely. Mm-hmm. That's an amazing visual. Die. Let the past die. It's a beautiful visual representation of a very complex and interesting idea.
Rian Johnson, take a bow.
And then this movie, it's just there. She just has the lightsaber again.
Yeah.
Okay?
When did she even pick up the pieces?
When did you pick it up? After that happened, Admiral Holdo lightspeed through the ship that you were on. It exploded and you left.
She did have it in the Millennium Falcon.
I guess that's true. She did have it. But and the whole thing is and then she just has it and they put some tape over it. And then later the most terrible crime Rise of Skywalker commits is Luke coming back as a Force ghost and catching the lightsaber.
And lifting the X-Wing.
And then he lifts the X-Wing to Yoda's theme.
And it's disgusting.
Terrible stuff.
Disgraceful.
Terrible stuff. And I'm over here defending
and you're like, movie. And this time I watched it, I thought it was pretty good, actually.
I actually liked it. I liked all of it. No. Okay. I continue. So the other thing is the Emperor is back, okay? But I actually don't care that the Emperor is back. I can finally admit that there is some slight foreshadowing of his
Tell me
return
about this
in
foreshadowing,
Force
would
Awakens
you? Tell me about
and
this,
Last
please.
Jedi. Be it ever so subtle.
Speak to me in detail about this foreshadowing.
Be it ever so subtle, I say. Because it is very subtle.
Yes, tell me
and
tell me where to find it.
Because
I didn't see it.
In The Force Awakens, when Snoke first appears, the music that plays is, and you know this, the music from the scene,
the ballroom place,
Revenge of the
whatever.
Sith. The ballroom place. It's that music,
yes.
Right?
The song called Darth Plagueis.
Yeah. But you know these people. They're not paying attention to that. They're paying attention to Palpatine's on screen, so that they put anyway. That music plays.
I remember looking into that, right away because I
Force
was like,
Awakens.
hey, I heard that music before. And then I went into the Revenge of the Sith soundtrack, and I was like, hey, that song's called Darth Plagueis. Snoke is Darth Plagueis. Done. Moving on.
Yep.
And then he dies in Last Jedi, and I was like,
he's actually Palpatine, though.
I'm chill.
So actually, if you paid attention, he's actually Palpatine because he cloned.
If he actually paid attention. Okay.
And then in The Last Jedi, okay, the music that plays whenever you're in Snoke's chambers. Well, not whenever. Snoke has his own theme. But there are a couple times in The Last Jedi where the actual Emperor's theme plays when Snoke is on screen. Yeah, that plays a couple times in The Last Jedi, and I took note of it when I watched The Last Jedi.
Okay.
And it's like,
I'll listen for that.
that's it. Okay?
Music only. So John Williams is willing this forward.
Yeah,
he's like, I really liked the Emperor, so I'm going to throw some subtle foreshadowing in.
It's very
and
subtle.
Pray that J.J. Abrams picks on what I was doing.
And then, okay, so I took note of it in The Last Jedi. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not saying it's a good choice to bring the Emperor back. I've just come to peace with the fact that they were able to make it work and use that as a cop-out to bring him back. I was like, okay, whatever, fine. It's fine.
All right.
And because also, because I watched this movie, The Rise of Skywalker, which is a bad title.
Terrible
Take
title.
the title, do a different title. It's terrible, as I'll get to. So let's take this. When I take this movie as its own thing, knowing that it just wants to shit on The Last Jedi completely, what this movie is saying is that Rey is actually not nobody. Rey is actually somebody. And we've decided to make her a Palpatine. That's what they've done.
Yes.
That's the decision they've made.
Yeah.
Okay? And
what if the movie was called Rise of Palpatine?
That would be sick.
That kind of sounds baller to me.
It's better than Skywalker, for sure. Or like Star Wars, Palpatine Returns. That's it.
It'd be terrible.
So, okay, and I watched this and I'm like, you know what? Conceptually, I'm not that mad at it. I'm mad at it because it's inconsistent with what the last movie told me.
Yes.
But within this movie,
the first movie, even.
yes, within this movie by itself, what they do is, I think, actually pretty cool because there's a huge caveat at the end of the movie, which I'll get to.
Yes, the biggest asterisk of all time.
The biggest asterisk. From start to almost the end of this movie, people are like, Rey, don't be Leia says this, Rey, don't be afraid never be afraid of who you are, okay? Mm-hmm. And then later it's revealed to us that she's a Palpatine.
Right.
And then she's kind of struggling with this, like, nobody knows people keep telling me they know who I am and not to be afraid of who I am, but nobody knows me. And I don't even know me, and I'm scared of who I am, essentially.
Yeah. Even though she kind of figured that out in the dark, wet hole in The Last Jedi, but it's fine.
The dark, wet hole, yeah. Where all truth is told, in the dark, wet hole.
Yes.
And then at the end, she confronts Palpatine, and Palpatine's like, here's...
man's hole.
He goes, here's my plan, granddaughter. Here's my plan. I'm a weird-looking, terrible clone of my previous self, and I need a nice body to exist in.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to transfer the entire power of evil and the Sith into you, and you will take my place as the new Emperor.
Yeah.
You will step into your identity as Empress Palpatine. And then, thematically, what happens is she has a choice where she's standing in the middle of the balance of the Force, right? She's in the middle. She has the concept of the Force, the dark side, and the light they have all converged into this one person's decision whether to embrace all dark or all light.
Yes. And
she decides to call on all the Jedi, and Emperor Palpatine goes, I am all the Sith.
Yeah.
And she goes, and I am all the Jedi. and then she kills him.
Yeah.
And so she does take his place, which I think is interesting. She embraces her identity as next in line to be this kind of all-powerful person, but she chooses she takes his place, completely erasing him from the equation, and erasing his entire evil legacy.
Ooh.
And she changes her name and steps into a legacy of good. And then it's like Ben Solo comes back, and because she dies, and then they kiss, and it's like,
yeah,
why did you do all this?
Great.
It's like, why? What are you doing?
You remember the romance that they were blossoming in their forced Skype calls in The Last Jedi? That they completely neglected, that could have made the kiss better if they actually paid attention to what was happening in the last movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kiss is very jarring.
I think the concept of those two characters falling in love is actually really interesting. But the way they do it in this movie is like really strange, and it comes
especially
out of nowhere.
Since they had that fight on the bridge and she killed him.
Yeah, she did kill him for some reason, and then immediately regretted it and saved him. There's a lot of like killing and saving each other, and it's a little much.
A little much.
And then, but I'm like, you know what? Okay. I have many problems with this, but I'm like, it's whatever. And then she goes to Tatooine, and this old lady is there for some reason, and she's like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I'm Rey." And Rey who? Which, first of all, this is
so many people have one name.
Yeah, it's.
She's told you her name, bro.
This isn't
Move
America.
On.
Like, people don't have last names. It's so weird that they would ask
Rey who?
And then she says Rey Skywalker for the entire movie. The idea that she would need to be a Skywalker it's not set up anywhere in the entire film. They say, "Hey Rey, embrace who you are." And in this movie, we're telling you you are a Palpatine.
Yeah.
She embraces that, and then she just says, "I'm a Skywalker now," and it doesn't make any sense, and it's really weird and terrible.
Yeah.
And then Luke and Leia are there for some reason, and I'm like,
and they approve.
I want to defend this movie so bad, but I just can't for that reason.
And for that reason, it's in your top 10.
All this being said, I had a great time. I have a great time watching this movie whenever I do, because it's shot really well. The effects are great. The sound design is great. There's the scene where Rey goes up to Kylo Ren's ship and she's in his quarters, and Rey's down on the planet, and they have the little fight. That thing is sick. And then they have their fight on the Death Star, which is dumb. And that fight is really awesome. And then that's cool. And then I don't know, man. It just it looks really nice, and me, it's got vibes. The prequels, they have no vibes. They're vibeless.
What? That's
they look so
crazy,
gross,
bro.
I hate the way those movies look.
Dude,
they look
vibes.
so terrible. I'm like, bro, what am I watching this on an N64? This looks terrible.
Come on, man. What about all the Jedi? There's so many lightsabers.
It's cool. I have love for those movies too, but I don't rewatch those. I would rewatch Rise of Skywalker right now if you wanted to watch with me, I'd watch it with you,
No, I gotta watch Rogue One, and then the original trilogy, and then the sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
so.
You have to watch it.
I will. I've promised myself and Anna that we will watch it. She was like, "Do we really have to?" And I was like, "Yeah, we do."
You don't even have to. I'm not even expecting you to change your opinion on it.
Oh no,
it's
that's
a
not
bad
gonna happen,
movie.
But
because when you look at my list, I have Empire at 1, A New Hope at 2,
Facts,
Last Jedi at 3,
Facts,
and Andor at 4.
Okay,
Solo at 5.
There we go.
Force Awakens at 6, Rogue One at 7, Return of the Jedi at 8. And then I put Mando. I like Mando season 1 enough to put it there at number 9, but the show as a whole, I'm like trash.
Yeah. I split it up.
And then Rise of Skywalker
at
10. But everything under Rise of Skywalker for me is just it's the bad Star Wars. After that, it's just You got Ahsoka in the prequels for me, and like, I mean, the Clone Wars is there, but I like the Clone Wars. But
what about Visions? Where'd Visions go?
Visions is in there too. It's like whatever.
Sad.
But it's like everything under Return of the Jedi is like, it's that Star Wars, you know? It's
yeah.
Like, meh.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Yeah.
I
mean, to be honest, like, there's 11 movies, so it being in your top 10 isn't that appalling, you know?
Right. Sure.
But it's just okay.
I know, dude.
So
out of principle, it's hard. It's hard to even fathom.
Okay. So I'm just gonna real quick. All of this that you've ironed out everything that you really didn't like about the movie, which was the movie itself, and then you tell me I put it 7 or 8 spots higher because the visual effects and the vibes are good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Excuse me.
I mean, obviously I underestimate the power of vibes when it comes to your,
man. Like
cinematic viewing experiences, but
it still feels like Star Wars to me, and it's like I don't know, man. It's got lightsaber fights, it's got Force stuff, it's got interesting concepts.
You do like lightsabers.
It has some really terrible concepts, and another thing where they ask about her last name when they go to this planet and there's the big festival going on. And also, this movie has a really admirable commitment to practical effects. Like, there's a lot of practical effects in this movie.
Prequel or sequel trilogy really does, I would say.
Yeah. I respected that. But they go to this planet where there's this festival going on, and this little kid tells Rey her name, and she says, "What's your name?" And Rey goes, "Rey." And C-3PO, and the kid says something else, and C-3PO goes, "She would like to know your family's name." Like, what? Why? It's so
taking
terrible.
a census.
The screenplay is just terrible. Like the thing is that, because then in that whole sequence is like, oh, they go to the ship, and they try to find the ship, and then they fall into this sand pit, and they find the knife that leads to the Death Star in this random sand pit, and there's this big snake that has a wound on it, and she heals it, and once she heals it, it moves and reveals the way out of the tunnel, and then they get to this planet, and she holds the knife up to the Death Star, and it leads her exactly to where she needs to go.
You know what this sounds like?
So terrible.
It sounds like you're describing a D&D campaign to me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
they chose the option of healing the sandworm, and it revealed the way forward. Like, yes, good, good choice.
This is also the guy who wrote Jurassic World Dominion.
Okay,
which is
so
my least favorite movie of 2022.
There we go.
Yeah, he's a terrible writer. He's terrible. I hate him. But you know what?
That's not R&R, is it? The guys who did Game of Thrones season 8.
No.
Okay.
No.
They were gonna have Star Wars.
I believe you're thinking of D&D.
I am thinking of D&D. You're right. I didn't. In my head, I said R&R because D&D is the Duffer Brothers, who do Stranger Things, but that's not true.
That also makes sense.
Yeah,
they're the Duffer Brothers, though.
The Brothers Duff.
I don't know, man. Where are you on Star Wars? You rewatched the prequels and Solo.
Yeah,
what was your experience?
I rewatched the prequels. And
the prequels are actually the best Star Wars movies. I think they're better than.
No. Let's not even pretend that we're gonna say those things.
Actually, I think Revenge of the Sith might be my favorite Star Wars movie.
Excuse me, sorry. Ugh. Yeah, anybody who says that is weird. Just like as a person, they're just like a weird person.
And I've met people who say Revenge of the Sith is their favorite movie in general. I say, what?
Excuse me?
What?
Get out of my coffee shop.
Yeah.
Get out of my store.
Get out. Give me your coffee back.
Give me that cup.
I'll issue you a refund for your coffee.
I don't even want your business. No, I rewatched them, and I was intrigued. I was inspired by your... I remember in your review, I believe, you said... I tried watching this like it was the first time watching it. You walked into the movie with a fresh brain, a fresh perspective. And I said, okay, let me do that. And I brought along my girlfriend for the journey. She's of course she's seen the Star Wars movies, so it wasn't like she was actually perceiving them for the first time. But
of course,
I sat in that chair over there, and we watched the prequels, and we watched the first two in one day, and then the next day we watched Revenge of the Sith and Solo. So day one is Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. It's a rough day. What a slug fest! What a bore! I mean, I have a very soft spot for Phantom Menace. The movie is an eon long. I don't know how. What is that? 10,000
Killers of the Flower Moon over
10,000
here.
years.
Phantom Menace. 10,000 years long.
I think that's a millennium. That's just about the Battle of Naboo itself, actually. But the nostalgia. This is the first Star Wars movie I ever saw. You know, it brings back a lot of my my youth. For
sure.
You know,
for sure.
There's a lot of I have a very soft spot for this one. The soft spot is completely gone when I watch Attack of the Clones. Now
that's a rough,
I will again say, I love Count Dooku. I think Count Dooku is the GOAT of the prequels. He's the best character in the prequels. Simply because of it's a tragic character, really. He gets seduced to the dark side, but like his main reason for like being so gung-ho about the separatist movement is because he wants planets to have better representation in the Senate, and like these outer rim planets and these poor planets who don't have a lot of money to contribute to aid and stuff, like their projections, they don't get recognized in the Senate. They just like kind of have a vote, and that's it. That's all they ever do. So they don't have like a way to actually get help for their planet. They're just in these chairs voting for random issues that don't even affect them most of the time, because the galaxy's pretty big.
It's a big place,
and so
sometimes you gotta get on a big whale to go to the next galaxy.
Yeah, wow.
Sometimes,
and never come back.
How cool would that be?
But specifically just Count Dooku, I think he has just such an interesting character, because he's literally in it for the politics. He doesn't care about all the deception and the power. He's not really a Sith. He's like he reminds me a lot of Balin, I would say.
Yeah, he's kind of neutral.
He has his own thing he's trying to do. He has a plan, and being a Sith is easier to get that plan done because evil people don't care as much about morals. So
that's what I hear.
Yeah. Not me.
I'm not Elon Musk over here.
Yeah. So
evil Elon Musk. Count Dooku.
Yeah. But a poor man's Elon Musk. But yeah, and then he gets murked in he gets murked hard in Revenge of the Sith.
Sure does.
You get to even watch his head roll for a split second there. And he looks over at Palpatine. He's like, "Dang, I literally wasted 10 years. Whoops."
On this guy.
On this guy, this old man.
I gave you 10 years of my life, Mr. Palpatine.
And it's a bit of a bummer. I mentioned it a little bit, that the Star Wars The Clone Wars really paints him as just an evil, incarnate, old bearded man who wants nothing more than the destruction of the Republic.
Sure. He has
which
a very
literally
long
isn't
beard.
even true. It's just so when he dies in Revenge of the Sith, it's just like wow, that's a bummer, actually. So Attack of the Clones is terrible. My least, I'll probably say that Attack of the Clones is my least favorite Star Wars movie. When it comes down to rewatching Rise of Skywalker, maybe
it's almost unwatchable all the way through.
It took a break. There was a meal in between after the battle of Geonosis.
Like there are clips that I watch. The Battle of Geonosis, for example.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan versus Jango Fett.
Great
Cool.
Great stuff. Everything that happens in Camino is cool.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we get to Revenge of the Sith, which is, as you said, some people just really love this movie for some reason.
They love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
My biggest problem with it, aside from the childhood nightmares of watching Palpatine kill all my favorite Jedi, in like he one-hits Kit Fisto, Sazy, Tin, and the other guy.
They don't even.
They literally get
chance.
These are Jedi Council members. Okay, they get obliterated immediately by the most blockable strikes I've ever seen. The fight is been horrible to watch.
They've been killing billions of battle droids, and then we see in the later movies that stormtroopers are not that much harder to kill. Mm-hmm. But in Revenge of the Sith, for a few hours, clone troopers are like the most sharpshooting. Like
they're
the best fighters in the entire world because they kill all of the Jedi except for like a lot of Jedi that survive.
That's true.
for stories that will take place later.
Yes. So I have two big gripes, and the amount of Jedi that survive is one, but not in the way you think. My biggest thing is Anakin Skywalker's fall to the dark side feels so incredibly rushed. Now here's the thing. It takes
what have I done?
It takes an entire trilogy to get to this moment, right? This is the time where Anakin finally makes the choice to be selfish, and he's here to save Padme. He'll do whatever it takes. This is it. And it feels so bad. I don't know. It's like...
Yeah.
And especially afterwards, he's like, go to the Jedi Temple and kill everyone that you have ever known and ever cared about. And he's like, you got it. I'm gonna go.
You got it, boss.
I'm gonna go get those kids too. Okay.
I'm gonna go get them.
Yeah.
You didn't even ask me to do that, but I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna kill them all. The women.
Do you want me to
save
some of them to turn to our side?
No.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Okay. Let me walk in there with the 501st minus Rex for some reason.
He's not a very conflicted fellow. He's like, he's tortured, and he's like, oh, something bad is gonna happen to Padme. I gotta save Padme. Oh.
Yeah.
But I gotta be good for Obi-Wan too. And then all of a sudden he's like, or I'll just kill all the children.
Or I'll kill them all.
I'll kill everyone.
And then
kill my wife as well.
And then he goes to Mustafar, right? And he kills all the Separatists. And Newt Gunray, who is like, who's been like the scum of the earth for the last two movies. Yeah. But like you come to realize, as you pay more attention over the years, is like their conflict and like what Count Dooku is talking about, the representation and everything of these guys. Yeah. Minus the Clone Wars, where Newt Gunray is like really evil the whole time. He has this moment where he's like, we just want peace. Like, the war is over. Like, just let me live. I'm surrendering to you.
You're so right. I forgot about that until you said that.
We just want peace. The war is over. And Anakin's just like, gah, 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 killing all these people.
I completely forgot about that.
Extreme prejudice. Right. And then 30 seconds later, the next time we see him, he's like, wallowing in pain. He's crying. Yeah. He's like, what have I done? I'm so evil now. And it's like, what's going on here? We've gone up and down so fast.
Obi-Wan turned you against me.
Yeah, and then right back, Obi-Wan and Padme land, and he's like, ah, again. And it's just, it feels, the emotional whiplash is just insane.
It's crazy, dude.
Also, have you watched that scene with Obi-Wan and Anakin before they fight? Have you watched it in Japanese?
No. That sounds great, though.
Amazing, let me tell you. That is an experience that you should really look into.
It is very, from the limited experience I have, it does sound quite a bit like anime dialogue.
Yes, it is. It's awesome. I watched a TikTok clip of it the other day, and it's just it's awesome. Yeah, it's a good time.
Oh man.
So, yeah,
this is some people's favorite Star Wars.
Some people's favorite movie.
Just like, I don't know. I feel like they turn it on like I do. I turn it on. I see they're in their Jedi starfighters.
Oh, dude.
And the CGI looks great.
The first half hour or so good. Actually,
they're rescuing. They rescue Palpatine. Well, Chancellor What is this? What do they call
Chancellor
him?
Palpatine, Supreme Chancellor.
Oh, his name is Palpatine. Yeah.
Yep.
That's not an evil name yet. Interesting.
Like, that's the name of the bad guy.
Oh wait, that sounds familiar. That stuff is great. And then you get back down to Coruscant, and Padme's like, "Wait, does that happen? Does she tell him she's pregnant?"
Okay,
in this movie?
here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing.
Here's the other thing.
Anakin Skywalker, father of Luke and Leia, allegedly, as we'll get to here in a moment.
Yeah, dude, I love that theory.
He is in the Outer Rim sieges, as they are called. They mention it a couple times in this movie. You know how far away the Outer Rim is? You know how long it takes to get back to the center of the galaxy?
When you hear Outer Rim, it's like it registers as that thing they talk about in Star Wars, but it's like, oh, they mean the outer rim of the galaxy that they're in.
Right, exactly. So
that's a long ways away.
We're going way out in the boonies, okay? And if you ever look at a Star Wars map, also, Naboo is not close to Tatooine. I'm not exactly sure what happened in The Phantom Menace, that they got there with the hyperdrive leaking. Not really sure what happened there. They starved to death on their ship on the way. But that's neither here nor there. Anakin is way out in the boonies for presumably months, maybe even a year, out there fighting for his right to party. And he comes back and finally sees Padme, right? And he's just talking to Bail Organa. He says, "Excuse me, I got to go talk to this person hiding in the shadow of this pillar." And Bail is like, "Yeah, sure," and never turns around.
All right, man, see you later.
Never turns around to see what's happening. And if he just looks, he's like, "Oh, hey, they're kissing." That's problematic. But we're
also talking about Coruscant, a literal planet that's a city. It's populated with billions of people, and there's no one to be seen.
Yeah,
at the Jedi Temple.
So,
oh my gosh,
Bail Organa moves on. He's like, "Whatever, I'm not going to turn around to see what that's about." And she goes, "Anakin, something wonderful has happened," because he knows nothing of it. He knows nothing of this. She goes, "I'm pregnant," and he's like, "Oh wow, yeah, that makes sense."
Awesome.
What do you think? What is the gestation period for humans in Star Wars? Because he was not around when she's showing by the end of this movie.
She
gives birth in this movie.
She gives birth at the end of the movie. Yeah,
and they have not excuse my French. They have not had sex in the last 9 months. Okay, I'm just gonna lay it out there. Those are not Anakin's kids. They are not.
Those are not his. And then the theory goes that Obi-Wan and Padme seem to have some sort of relationship in this movie, because he comes and they have a little moment, and for years the theory has been, oh, maybe they got up to some stuff.
Of course, there is also the line, Obi-Wan is like, "Anakin's the father, isn't he?"
Yeah.
But maybe he's saying that because he's mad that he isn't.
Yeah. I like
but,
it.
But we can go on and on about that. It was wild.
It's not a great movie. Yeah.
No, I did like it more this watch than I ever have. Because I usually skip large portions in the middle. Because the movie's bad, but I said I'm gonna watch the whole thing, and we'll see how it goes. And the Battle of Heroes, Anakin versus Obi-Wan, is phenomenal.
That's great.
I will say again,
the Grievous fight is fine.
The Grievous fight's pretty good. I will say Obi-Wan versus Maul is still my favorite lightsaber fight. It feels much more visceral, much more real, less
That's fair.
studio to me. Compared to the wishy-washy.
I mean, in Phantom Menace, it's Ewan McGregor fighting a man in some red face paint. Yeah. In Revenge of the Sith, it's Ewan McGregor twirling his lightsaber around at nothing. Yeah, it's a robot. It's a CGI robot.
Yeah,
with 4 arms.
Wild.
Easy. It should be easy to kill somebody with 4 arms and lightsabers if you're a robot, I feel like.
Yeah, he definitely shouldn't have stopped twirling all 4 lightsabers as he walked towards Obi-Wan. That does not look like an intimidation-only tactic.
He's twirling all of his lightsabers, and then he just stops and he goes like this. Ha!
Yeah.
And
he
Obi-Wan's
blocks
just
them
like,
all with one.
all 4 of them, yeah.
Yeah.
On all sides.
He
It's
should.
really cool.
You know how simple it is? He hits he makes Obi-Wan block 1 lightsaber, and then he kills him with 3. Because he has 4 lightsabers.
Because that makes 4.
That's a
4.
3-second fight. Have you seen the 2003 animated Star Wars Clone Wars movies?
I've seen it.
Grievous goes hard in those movies,
Yeah,
and he kills a lot of highly regarded Jedi.
He's like really limber and fast.
Yeah.
And he's like really stealthy in that show. And then in this one, he's just kind of a bulky, clumsy guy.
Yeah. And then I watched Solo, and I was like, wow, the vibes.
Man, it's a good movie,
Unquestionable.
right? Let's go.
That's just a good time.
Can we talk about how Solo came out, and it was pretty good, but a lot of people just didn't see it.
Yeah.
I think the people who saw it liked it, but then Disney they just buried it, dude. They were like,
wow, everybody hated this movie. We'll never make another Star Wars story again, you guys. That was my bad.
Alden Ehrenreich, who? We've never heard of him. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the Senate aide in Oppenheimer, all right?
Yeah.
Back off.
You're talking about Oppenheimer, right? Oh, yeah.
Put some
Woody
respect on my
Harrelson
name.
is in it. Donald Glover is in it. Amelia Clark from the most popular show of all time, Game of Thrones, is in it. I mean, it's like, this cast is really good.
Your boy
Paul Bettany's in it.
Your boy Paul is in there.
Your boy Paul. I wish he was in it more.
Ray
I
Park
love
is in
his
there.
character in it. Ray Park is in it. Yeah, he goes, I'm here. I'm Darth Maul. I'm here
I'm
too.
back.
You got freaking girl from Willow is in it.
Yeah. Oh, what a show.
What a show. I don't know. I think it's baffling that they
honestly, what a crime
think
you
it's-
never watched Willow.
I know.
That's a
and I
crime.
can't. I think it's just funny that they think that Solo is the movie that they went too far.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, maybe we should walk this back a bit." Like, wow,
Such a
it's actually a pretty fun movie.
It's
Phoebe
so much
Waller-Bridge
fun.
is the voice.
Yeah,
of
Phoebe
the funny robot.
Waller-Bridge. She's great. Have you seen Fleabag?
No,
Wow.
and
That
I
could
never will.
honestly, I'm gonna rewatch it eventually here soon.
You told me to watch it, yeah.
It's gonna go in the top 10 TV shows.
But it's called
of all time.
Fleabag. And I'm like,
Yes, and the main character doesn't have a name. Is never named by name.
you would think her name is Fleabag.
That's her cast credit is Fleabag. Yes. It's so
this is
good.
definitely. We have a Star Wars podcast. I mean, this is a Star Wars
Wow.
podcast. I love it. It's fun. Everything changes all the time.
Okay.
What's happening next is Crimson Dynamo happening next. What's it called? Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew, is that the next
I
thing?
thought
don't know.
Acolyte was first. You're
Maybe
the one that's
Acolyte is.
seen the illegal trailers
Yeah, dude. The Acolyte
in
looks
240p.
sick as hell. I can't wait. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about? Do we need to talk about I mean, we're going pretty long, but we have more stuff. You haven't talked about Whiplash yet.
I mean, Whiplash came out in
I've talked about
2014.
it in length.
Yeah.
You know.
I thought it was really good. I think the big thing for me with Whiplash was that I have watched Lessons from the Screenplays video of Whiplash and Black Swan so many times that I knew everything that was going to happen, so it never felt like a movie I needed to watch. Because I was like, oh, I've basically seen it. So when I watched it, I skipped over the part where, because I get really bad secondhand embarrassment. And there's the part where Fletcher's like, I knew it was you. And he like makes him play the wrong music. I literally, I sat there for like 10 seconds cringing so hard. And I just had I had to skip through it. I was like, I actually can't watch this. It's like Scott's Scott's Tots, dude. Oh my gosh. That is unwatchable for me. I can't.
So cringe.
Yeah. I'm in like
not in a bad way. It's just like dang, this is rough, hard to watch.
Yes, very hard to watch. Impossible
thematically.
For me.
J.K. Simmons, man.
But oh my
what a
gosh,
guy. What an actor.
He put on the performance, and
electric.
And might I just say, is absolutely jacked in that movie.
Oh yeah, dude.
For no reason, he is just fit.
the guy can fill out a black T-shirt. What can we say?
My goodness. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, he is terrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah,
I watched.
He's very good.
I've been working my way through my my list of fall vibe movies.
The fall vibe movies. I need to have seasonal lists like you do.
My list is let's see, what is this text I'm getting?
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Sam spilled a plant in a car. My fall movie list consists of Knives Out, Spider-Man,
Coco, Spider-Man.
Yeah, Coco was in there. Fantastic Mr. Fox. The Green Knight.
Oh,
is on there.
I saw
that very
recently.
fall movie.
Yeah,
it's not amazing, but it's very fall. I think that's the 5 that I have on my list right now. But I watched the first Spider-Man, and Spider-Man has been on my favorite movies of all time list since we did our first favorite movies of all time episode. And I had to take it off the all-time favorite movies list.
Is that's official?
It's official. It's off the list. Not that I don't like that movie. Everything I feel about that movie is the same.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched it and I was like, I don't think this is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
I see.
I think potentially when I watch the second one, that one might be my one in my favorite movies of all time.
I'm looking at the list right here, Jordan, and I'd like to inform you that Green Knight is not on this list. But the entire original trilogy of Spider-Man is on this list.
Oh yes, I did put that on there. They all feel like fall movies.
I have apparently only seen 83% of these movies. Oh, I haven't seen Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's on the list. I'm not allowed to watch it alone. So
fair enough.
I would have watched it by now.
Yeah, I think the thing about Spider-Man is it's like
oh boy, yeah.
It's the beautiful Sam Raimi campiness that you love to see.
Forgive us,
at the
Father,
same time,
for we have sinned.
Yeah.
Forgive us.
There are a few moments that were a bit much for me this time around. Finish it. Yeah. And I love it when he has Spider-Man on the top of that roof, and he's like he smacks him on the head, and he's talking about how he can join him and everybody will like him
again and again and again until we. What does he say? He's like, until we kill ourselves or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Dang. That really fell flat. I'm sorry, guys.
He goes, sleep. Willem Dafoe is just
he's having the time of
and there are some there's a scene where Willem Dafoe the camera is to his back, pointing forward to his back, but he's standing in front of a mirror, and the camera is walking with him towards the mirror, and it doesn't cut, but Willem Dafoe is playing Norman and the Goblin at the same time, switching voices and stuff. Yeah. And it's a one take. He's walking towards the mirror, and he's having this conversation with himself, and it's just, you're watching it and you're like, wow, this is brilliant. Like, this man is an actor.
He is doing that.
This guy is acting. He's doing the thing. He is him in this moment.
Wow.
And then I was really annoyed with James Franco this time around. In the first one, in the second one, he's fun annoying, but in this one, he's just very annoying.
Yes.
He's just and he's mean to MJ, and it's weird. I was just like, I think I do like the second one.
Just tell me. So that's why I had to text me when Tobey Maguire says, "Punch me, I bleed."
Punch me, I bleed.
I love
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, he's
I think
so good.
he
looks just like.
I think he is the best Peter Parker we've had.
Yes.
On the screen, he's really good. He has the Andrew Garfield. I love him, but he's like
Gabby.
He's a little bit. He's too good looking, and so is Tom Holland. Obviously, I mean, the guy looks great. But Tobey Maguire has the unlikely look to him that I feel like is really necessary to Peter Parker.
I think he's a pretty good looking guy now. I think he.
Yeah.
He had I don't know. He looked like a twerp. He looked like a nerd.
I mean, he was in his 20s at that time.
Yeah.
He looked like me.
Dude, you guys still look the same.
I know. I get it, legitimately, probably 4 times a week.
The crazy thing is, no
I
one
get it
here
all
in
the time.
Oregon that I've mentioned that to, they don't agree.
Some people don't see it like. It's usually in person.
Yeah.
Like if you show them a picture of me, they might.
Yeah,
not see it.
I take one look at you and I'm like, wow, I'm co-hosting a podcast with Spider-Man.
Yeah. And I watched Knives Out, and Knives Out is amazing. It's really good. I don't give it 5 stars. I don't remember why I don't give it 5 stars. Let me think. I don't know.
Because it's a murder mystery, and after the first viewing,
that's potentially it. Yeah, I think. Why don't I give it 5 stars?
Ransom.
I think.
Is that you
I think it
back
was
already?
I think it was a little bit predictable the first time I saw it. Like you know, Chris Evans has something to do with it. Like,
yeah, I mean,
and
but they also kind of more than hint to that throughout the movie.
Yeah, and it's kind of a misdirect because then they show you like Harlan did kill himself. He slit his own throat, and then the intrigue is how does all this
she
play
gonna
out?
get away with it?
How does she get out of this?
Yeah,
and then which it's a great reveal. But I think I don't know. I don't really know what my problem with it is. I don't have a problem with it. I just didn't give it 5 stars. I don't know.
Well, you have a wide open spot in the top 10 favorite movies list.
I do. I really do.
Maybe you throw it right in there until you watch Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2. Can't wait. Knives Out is great. Can't wait for the 3rd Knives Out mystery to come out.
Ooh. The
Glass
future,
Onion was
the
really
future is
good
bright.
as well. Let's try to just remember the creator.
Oh wow,
really quick.
We're still going. Folks.
Let's just really quick.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if we don't talk about it now, we're never going to talk about it.
It's a good call. That's true. Hit me.
So we were really excited about the creator, and then I think we both saw it, and I think we both immediately kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
Because if I remember correctly, the plot left a bit to be desired, which we knew going into it, that the word on the street was that it's visually amazing, but plot-wise,
there's a little lackluster.
So John David Washington,
phenomenal.
He has an afro at the beginning of the movie, right? And that's how you know time has passed, because he starts with an afro, and then later he doesn't. You see him and Gemma Chan, they're lovey-dovey, and then this big ship comes in and some people come in and point guns at Gemma Chan, and then they find out. This is me trying to remember the plot of the movie.
Okay.
And then they're like, "We're looking for the creator, the title of the movie." What's
he has a name?
Zenyatta.
No. But that's pretty funny. I did think of the Omnic Revolution from Overwatch quite a few times.
Yeah.
Ramatra.
What's its name?
I think.
Ramatra. Yeah.
Nope. That's the other Overwatch character.
That's also Overwatch. What's
Siddhartha?
the thing's name
No.
in the movie? Siddhartha.
I don't remember.
Zathura.
Let's go with Zathura. Probably the best Zachary Levi movie ever.
So, what happened was, similar to our current world, we have artificial intelligence.
Dermata?
And Nirmata sounds
Nirmata.
right.
Not Dermata.
Nirmata.
Let's go with Nirmata.
Nirmata. AI gets really really, that was a funny joke.
Nice one, dude. That was sick.
I didn't even think about that ahead of time. That was pure improv, guys. Let's go. If you didn't get the joke, let me explain the joke to you.
No.
AI advances to the point of robots that look like humans. And then there's a war, and humans are like, bad AI. And AI is like, but we want to live, though. But the humans are like, we got to kill all the AI individuals. So a war starts, and they're looking for the creator, the guy or girl who created this artificial intelligence, so that they can destroy the source code. I think,
yes,
if that's what happens in the movie.
Source Code, great movie.
I haven't seen it.
Jake
But I will
Gyllenhaal.
watch it.
Jake Gyllenhaal plays a guy.
Oh, I love Gyllenhaal.
He's stuck in a simulation where he travels to the future where a terrorist attack occurs, and he has to stop the terrorist attack. But every time he dies and has to start over, and can only live in the source code where he must stop this terrorist attack. Because in reality, he's stuck in this thing, and his body is dead because he goes killed by an IED during his service in Afghanistan. But also, the terrorist attack is happening, and his fiance is on the train that's being bombed.
Oh, wow. I wish I didn't know those things. So I could watch the movie.
Honestly, that movie is like 15 years old, I think. Everything I told you could be completely wrong.
Dang, what happens in The Creator, dude? Oh, John David Washington's like, I'm out.
His name is
Joshua,
my wife. By the way.
Oh, yeah, Joshua. I'll remember that from now on. But then the government's like, hey, man, we need you. You're really good at your job, I think. And he's like, sure. And then he goes and he finds... They're like, we located Nirmada's location. They have created a weapon that they're going to use to kill us. You got to go get it. And they get into the room, and which I might add is in the trailer. They open the door to the room where the weapon is, and in the trailer, they show you that the weapon is a girl.
A little child robot.
A little child robot. They show you that in the trailer, guys. I mean, like... So that wasn't a surprise. They go in there. It's a little child, befriends. Joshua's the only one that makes it out alive with the child. And they're like,
Shipley makes it out alive.
Are you a weapon? And she's like, no, I just want to be a kid and live my life.
I like candy.
And Joshua's like, all right, we can make that happen, I think. And then, I don't know, man, like, freaking... It's Logan for a bit, and then they go up into the spaceship and they win. It's like...
Nice.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, the plot definitely was lackluster. I will say, visually, amazing. Had a great time watching it on the big screen. But other than that, I was like,
wow.
I don't know.
Yeah. It honestly, it's like you sit there, and I watched it, and I gave it 4.5 stars, and I was like, this is a great movie.
Same.
And then, like, Anna goes, you know what, I think this is a 3-star movie. And I was like, how could you say that? It's so good. And then, like, 3 weeks later, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, maybe this is a 3-star movie.
Yeah, it's like, it's one of those movies that you really do just kind of like... There are some movies where you leave the theater, like Oppenheimer. Like, I left the theater and I thought about it for days.
Yes.
And then there are some movies where you leave the theater and you immediately are just like, let's go to Chick-fil-A. And you forget about it.
It dissolves.
It's like,
immediately.
It's whatever. Yeah. And, like, I'll pull up screenshots and I'll watch the movie again and see the vibes, get the vibes. But
the vibes? That's where the movie is, like, at its best.
When I watched it, I put it really high on my 2023 ranking list.
Yeah, it's falling.
I was like, this is
it's
awesome.
in free fall.
Yeah, I don't know. It was okay. But there is a movie, which we should also just briefly touch on.
Oh, snap.
That we both watched and never talked about, that is pretty high on my 2023 ranking
pretty
as well,
high.
called Past Lives, that came out this year, that we finally got around to watching. Describe Past Lives for me, Joshua.
See, the interesting thing is I can tell you the movie. I could tell you this movie in pretty good detail.
I can picture the entire movie right now. I can see it all.
I just watched the whole movie. 5 stars.
Yep.
Amazing. Yes, I did actually rate this one 5 stars, you guys.
Yeah.
So as everyone knows, Jordan throws 5 stars around like it's a paperweight. Okay.
I mean, who's throwing paperweights? What is this?
What do you mean?
Analogy.
It's something light. I don't know. Throws around.
I don't think it's light. It's. I think the point is a paperweight. It's a little bit.
Don't think about it too much.
Okay?
It was a quick analogy, and then I was going to move on. 5 stars means more to me than it does to Jordan, and I'm not saying that as a slight. It's just
It's fine.
I like to pretend I'm more pretentious, so I give 5 stars more weight.
Yeah.
So that means
I just have more fun with movies, I guess.
Okay. No. It's probably true. Actually, my mom's always saying Jordan just doesn't like anything, does he?
What?
Well,
I like almost everything.
Because when you watched, when she watched the podcast, which I'm sure doesn't happen anymore. Sorry, Mom. She just, I remember, you didn't like Thor: Love and Thunder, you didn't like The Mandalorian season 3, you didn't really like Moon Knight, all these things that we were watching at the beginning of the,
we had a dry spell.
You didn't like Crimes of Grindelwald, or whatever.
I gave lots of farts right at the beginning.
You're like, this movie sucks, actually. All these movies are terrible. And my mom was like, wow, Jordan just doesn't really like anything, does he? I was like, no, he likes some stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the Batman? She's
we
like,
were
I didn't watch that episode. I'm like, well, he raves in that episode about...
he really likes that movie.
Yeah.
We went through... There was that period of time where it was just like stinker after stinker coming out in theaters.
It was rough.
Lightyear was in there too, and we kind of liked it, but I don't know.
Anyway,
go on.
So, 2 children are living in southern Korea. South Korea.
That's true. You're so right.
And they are growing up, and they're kids, and they kind of have a fun little friendship. But maybe they like each other, and maybe they like
a
each
childhood
other.
crush.
Yeah.
Maybe we like each other. Yeah.
And the family, who are movie makers, they are film makers, I believe, or writers, or realtors. I don't remember.
I don't know either.
I don't remember.
I don't remember that part.
Maybe they
She becomes a writer, right? So I think they were writers.
I think they're movie writers.
So.
Anyway, they are going to immigrate
a playwright
to Canada to get into the film business, because that's where it's happening in Canada.
Canadian filmmaking.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes. Canada's kind of more of a music country, i.e. Drake, i.e. Justin Bieber.
I wouldn't know. I would not have guessed.
But not for the movies. That's kind of a Southern California kind of a space. Regardless, they're going to move to Canada, and they're going to leave South Korea, which, they have conversations with the parents of the boy that they're leaving, and they're like, we just want to have one last good memory of Korea before we leave. So they're going to have a quick date. And they're friends, and they go. They have a little play date, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so great! I'm gonna miss you so much." And then they move, and time passes, and blah blah blah. She becomes
12 years, I believe.
Greta Lee becomes a playwright herself, and she's writing plays. She's moved to New York to pursue. Her
City of Stars.
Yes, and I will say that New York is, if you're going to be a playwright for Broadway and stuff, that makes more sense. Sure. Let's live in New York, right? That's all fun and good. So she's moving to New York, and she writes a play or something, and it gets noticed by some people, and she's going on Facebook, as you do. She's on the book, and. She looks at her dad's profile, and he's getting recognized for something, and she sees a comment from the boy from Korea that she liked.
What?
And
no way.
He leaves a comment, and he's like, "Where's your daughter? I still think about her every day." Anakin Skywalker vibe, And she's like, "Oh yeah, I remember him. Let's Skype." And they Skype. And Jordan, tell me about the Skypes, because you felt things about the Skypes.
I did, because this is one of my biggest pet peeves in movies in general, guys. Take Spider-Man No Way Home has this. Well, no, they actually didn't do too bad on that one. It's just when, regardless of FaceTiming or Skype, it's just when you're watching a movie and somebody is on their phone, or there's a TV screen or a computer screen, and it's just footage from a
Adobe.
Okay, here we go. Take Captain America: Civil War, for example. General Ross comes in the room, and he's like, "Guys, look at all these atrocities you've committed," and it's just clips from the previous movie. This is
cinematic.
What is that? What do you mean? How did you get that? That's from.
I don't remember that.
How did you get that? That's from the Avengers. It's just it's little things like that I'm like, meh. And then a lot of times in movies when somebody's FaceTiming somebody, it's the phone, the entire phone screen is completely taken up with the face, and it's like in crystal clear 4K quality, and
no
like
buffering, just pristine.
It's clearly just shot with the same like the IMAX camera that the rest of the movie is shot with. But in this movie, it's like they're using Skype from 2010, and they actually just shot these people having Skype conversations. Like it would be if somebody was over my shoulder with a camera filming us talking right now. Like it's that level of realism.
Yeah.
That I was just invested, because they talk on Skype for a long time.
Yeah.
And that could easily be very boring. But you're just like,
but like the so audio quality is not good. Their face drags sometimes. Like it's real.
Frame rate. Yeah, and their conversation, like the writing and the way that they're saying their lines, but they don't feel like lines because they're talking like real people, and they have like awkward pauses in their conversations because they haven't seen each other in 12 years.
The indie movie with a $50,000 budget, Coherence.
Dang, that's a good movie.
We watched that on Halloween the other day. Fantastic.
Great time.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, it's just like it was the that sort of thing that makes this type of movie so engaging, is when you don't feel like you're watching a movie and you feel like you're just like
the vibes are so immaculate that you dissolve.
Yeah.
You become a fly on the wall in real people's lives.
With these people's lives and emotions and feelings and thoughts.
Yeah. So they're Skyping, and they're kind of low-key falling in love. And kind of low-key, maybe high-key falling in love. And they talk about getting
spoilers for this movie.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
If anybody's listening, you should watch this movie.
This movie came out in like February. So the embargo is over, but Anna hasn't watched this, and she's going to watch this. So spoilers, Anna. Check the timestamps.
Anna.
Check
the time.
If you haven't already been spoiled from this movie, which she largely has when I talked about it one time. It's fine.
Dang it.
Sorry. It's still really good, and she should watch it, and she'll like it. But it's fine.
Man, it's good.
So they're Skyping, and they're kind of low-key, high-key falling in love, and they're talking about getting together. And she's like, come to New York. My life's in New York. And he's like, I'm going to go to China to learn Chinese. Mandarin, excuse me. And she's like, why would you go there? You can learn Mandarin here. And live with me, and we can have friends. And we can love. And he's like, I'm going to China because I'm going to be an engineer. And so he does that, and they're like, okay, well, then I don't think we should continue to talk to each other because my life is here, and I'm looking up tickets to Seoul. And I want to move to China to be with you, and that's not what I should be doing because my life is about making
New York City, baby.
Making plays, living in the city, baby. Whiplash-esque, perhaps, with the really awfully acted scene where he's like, I'm going to be thinking about drumming, and I don't like you. In the movie Whiplash.
It's not awfully acted. It was very well acted.
I thought it was pretty bad. But that's just me.
I think you're wrong about that.
Well, art is subjective. Read my review. So they stop talking to each other for a while. 10 years pass. He graduates. He knows Mandarin, and he's an engineer, and he has money. And he looks real
He's a smart boy.
He's fit. All right.
Dude looks nice.
He looks like a K-pop star if the K-pop stars actually went to the gym.
Oh my goodness!
Shout out!
Call him out. Let's go.
But not BTS. We love BTS.
Right.
You can't upset the BTS fans.
He's out there with his friends. He's drinking soju.
Yeah,
at the bar. Let's go.
And so she is married now. She's fallen in love with another writer, who is that one guy from that thing. I've seen him in something before.
My jaw like dropped, and a lot of people this happened to, where like they meet each other at like a writer, what would you call it? It's like a writing camp essentially.
Yeah, some sort of writing retreat.
House and writing retreat, and then they like, Greta Lee is talking to this guy, And they have a little connection, and she's telling him about In Yun, and she uses it to kind of just like get him to like her.
She's like literally says, "I'm using it to trick white people into liking me."
Yeah, seduce them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to them going back to New York, and they're coming back from wherever they were, and they're like, the guy who works there is like, "Are you separate?" And they're like, "No, we're married." And it just like, you're just like, "Oh, no, no." What about his song?
What about his song,
bro?
I mean, I knew that they were married because I had seen most of the scene in the bedroom on TikTok already, so I knew that they were married. So that wasn't a jaw dropping.
I had no idea. I went in blind.
Wow, and I'm happy for you,
man. It was tragic for me.
Yeah, yeah, and you're like, oh no, she married this other guy. What about Hey Son?
Dang it, he's white.
Dang it,
dang it.
Hate white guys. No. And so Hey Sung is like, you know what?
The two whitest guys in America over here.
Hey. Let's not cross that line.
Greta Lee's the actress's name. Her name is Nora.
Yes, Nora. Sorry, I couldn't remember.
That's my bad.
Yes. So Hey Sung is, he is recently single, as he was dating someone in China that he met in China.
He's just like, and she's not you. She's not you.
Yeah, literally, he's like, I'm going to go to America and try to get with Nora because my current girlfriend is not her. And I'm going to give it one last shot. And so this is
shoot your shot,
man. This is really where the movie is like, okay, the movie begins now. He goes to New York and he meets her there. And he's like, oh, I'm just here for a work conference or something. No big deal. Hey, whoa, you're here? Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm an engineer. I make a lot of money.
Meet up.
Let's you know. Oh, you're married. Oh, maybe, you know. And so the movie kind of moves forward. And I think we'll let's stop there as far as spoiling territory go. But that's, you know, we get into, you know, In Yun itself and like destiny, true love, and, you know, what sacrifices you have to make for that, and is it worth it, and blah blah blah. And I think that's really where the philosophy of the movie goes, and these unanswerable questions.
Yeah.
That are really.
And if you like that, might I recommend a movie called La La Land? Because very similar things happen. Hey, Sam has a cactus in her hand.
Nice.
Very similar things happen towards the end of that movie.
You know what? In a way, you've spoiled it.
I think you would be really
and
intrigued.
I no longer am interested in watching it at all.
No.
Look,
I was kidding.
Look, I already know that
I was joking.
That they walk away from each other.
Yeah, well, if you already knew that, then whatever.
Yeah, and Moonlight should have won.
Just destined to never watch that.
Yeah. Out of spite. No,
Moonlight did win.
You're right. It's true.
Anyway.
La La Land won everything else. Okay, how long have we been recording? 2.5 hours?
A long time. We have so much content.
Yeah, and I didn't even talk about Polite Society, so I'll have to save that for next time. Because that was a 4.5 star movie, and I really, really liked it.
I was shocked, because I saw the trailer for that in theaters a while back, and I was like,
I know. I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I saw the poster, and I was like, this movie looks cool. And then I saw the trailer, and I was like, never mind. Not going to watch that. But then it was on Amazon, and I was like, fine, I'll watch it. It looked cool. And wow.
That's awesome. I know nothing about it. So it's good when movies are good. We like that.
I was very happy with it, you know. So,
man, well, this has been great. We should do this more often.
We literally, I jest. But yes, we should every day, please.
We do this as much.
No, as we can. For the foreseeable future, guys. just
at the very least.
At the very least, right now we're going to commit to one episode per month. I know everybody is crushed, including us ourselves, the content creators.
Yes.
But lives are crazy, and we're as busy as ever. So I think it's, once things calm down, and Jordan moves out here, then things will speed up
amazing.
again.
Yeah. It's like a real past live situation.
Yeah, it's actually been
really
raining
not at
for
all.
24 hours straight over here. So if you're into that sort of thing,
I love that. I'm into that sort of thing.
And while I was sleeping last night, I was awoken by some large tree branch falling out of a tree and maybe hitting my house. I'm not sure.
Wow!
It made a crash and a
crazy.
bash. Yeah,
crash and a bash, and it was the night before Christmas.
That's right.
However that poem goes. All right, guys. Well, this has been a great time. Definitely go watch Past Lives. You don't have to watch anything else we talked about.
What?
I'll try to watch RRR before. Well, that came out last year, right? So
yeah, that's a 2022 movie. So
I'll still watch it.
Polite Society, you should watch though.
I'll watch that.
It's on Amazon for free.
It's for free. Oh, you're seeing Killers of the Flower Moon. I'll try to see it.
You don't have. I'll give you the yay or nay.
Yeah.
On that one.
I mean, if you tell me it's one of the best movies you've ever seen, I'll go see it. But
honestly,
I kind of doubt it.
I'm
totally honest.
I'm kind of almost in the chair tonight, just because it's a 2023 movie, and I'm trying to see as many movies that come out this year.
It's Scorsese, and it's like, man, it's important. I guess
I haven't seen a single Scorsese movie. He didn't make The Departed, did he?
He did. He made The Departed.
Okay, then I've seen The Departed, which I thought was pretty good.
I've seen Silence, and I think that's it.
Have you seen
You should
The
watch
Godfather?
Silence. You might like Silence. I have not seen The Godfather. The Godfather is on my list of movies that everyone loves that I have tried to watch and haven't been able to finish it.
Yes, so. I watched like the first 30 minutes, and it's just like a wedding party.
Yeah, I turned it off. I said, this is boring as heck.
I don't know what I'm watching. I did like the part where Marlon Brando went like this.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. That's like, hey, that's like The Godfather. You do this to me one of those. The day my daughter is to be married. And then I'm like, okay, he did the thing. I'm out. He
did the thing.
I know that Alfredo breaks his heart or whatever. So it's like, why am I watching this? You broke my heart. I know it was Alfredo.
I need to rewatch Barbie for sure. I need to make sure I have that where it needs to be on my list. Because
Barbie hits. The movie was good.
I'm for some reason leaning negative on Barbie for some reason.
Dude, you know what's again? Let me look at the list real quick while we're here. While we have you guys. Let me look at the list real quick and just give you a random one in the top 10. Because we have let me tell you what's not in the top 10 favorite movies of 2023, and let me just tell you it's gonna piss you off, Jordan.
Oh no.
You know what?
What's it gonna be?
Sitting currently at number 11 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's
insanity, dude.
It's on Netflix.
It's number 11.
It's on Netflix right now. Let me tell you again that this list includes all the movies I have seen for the first time this year.
That's a long list.
Not just 2023 movies. Okay, so we're at 58 movies right now on this list. Okay. So that's how many movies I've seen for the first time this year, and Across the Spider-Verse is sitting at number 11. I can tell you right now.
Whatever.
I can tell you right now that this is not accurate, and the creator will move down one spot.
Okay, good.
Okay, so it'll make its way back into the top 10, and I'll rewatch it here soon, and it'll go up again probably. But I do have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem above it on the list.
I can respect it. Okay, I can respect that.
And
because that movie has an ending,
and even more so, exactly that. When Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out, greatest trilogy of all time, could happen. We'll see. I will say Guardians Volume 3. Our Guardians trilogy, I should say, is probably sitting at the best trilogy of all time. Maybe.
Probably.
Just because Return of the Jedi isn't that great. Otherwise, I'd probably say.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, Return of the Jedi. What a time. My list. Man, John Wick 4 is pretty high.
Yeah, the John Wick series, all 4 movies of the John Wick series are in this list. And let me tell you right now, John Wick Chapter 2 is second from the bottom.
That's tragic. Dude, can you believe that Dungeons & Dragons
Wedding.
Honor Among Thieves came out this year? That feels like it came out decades ago.
Yeah. That movie's on the list. It's above all 4 John Wick movies.
Really?
I thought that was a great movie.
Sad. Oh,
you know what else is
the
above
fifth
that?
Indiana Jones movie came out.
Yo, Alita Battle Angel, guys. Can we just talk about that?
Wow.
That's in the top 30.
Man, your list is wild.
I know. It spans decades. Okay.
Transformers: Rise of the Beasts has plummeted as more movies have come out. The movie's terrible.
I'm hoping to watch enough movies to where I can put 65 in the 65th spot.
That'd be great. Just out of it doesn't
spite.
matter. That movie is absolute nothing. It's not good
I
or
also
bad.
have the entire Planet of the Apes new trilogy on here.
Oh yeah, dude.
And
those would be on the top for me.
I will say 2 of them are
Don't
above
tell me where they
John
are.
Wick 4.
Well, that's good, I guess.
So
Get hyped for the 4th one. Trailer just came out.
I haven't watched it yet, and I'm not
Looks
going to.
cool as heck.
I'm gonna wait to
Alright.
watch it in theaters.
You don't even care about those movies. I mean, come. You hate them.
I
told me you hated them.
I really think that that episode went over very poorly for you. I did not hate those movies as much as you think I did.
You tore them apart in front of me. You murdered my favorite movies.
I really should have waited to talk about them until you saw them again, because you offered up no defense.
I had nothing to say.
And I felt really bad after that. I was like, dang, I just really ripped this guy's heart out, and he was like, man, I don't even know why I like these movies anymore. I was like, oh, no, Jordan, no.
Just ripped the joy out of my soul for those movies.
Oh, dude, I felt so bad. I was like, dang,
it's fine.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Are you aware that the 4th season of For All Mankind comes out, like, this month?
Yes! I got so excited!
My dad told me that yesterday. I was like, dang, I wonder if Joshua knows that.
Yes.
He has not talked about it at all.
I saw the trailer.
And I haven't heard anything about it.
I saw the trailer. I was like, yes, let's go.
That's awesome.
What's his face?
And I told you that
is still in it, and he's even older.
Dude, I told you that if the 4th season ever came out, I would finish the show.
Yeah.
So
and I'm not gonna hold you to that, because I'm on page 150 of Game of Thrones, the first book. So, you know.
After watching Invasion, I was like,
honestly, I'm very proud of you for finishing that entire boring season. I think you can do it. I think you can pledge yourself to an actually good show.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Dang, I enjoy longer shows.
Just wait until you get.
Of course I do.
Just wait until you get to until North Korea gets in the race. Okay, let me just say that. Let me just throw that out there. Okay.
That sounds fun. Sounds like a good show.
The show is wild. Okay. Oh my god.
Man, I'll keep you updated.
I want to rewatch it now.
Dang. All right,
but
we should probably stop.
Yeah. Okay. Hit us with the outro.
All right, guys. Let's just be honest.
What are we?
This episode needs to end. This is episode number 60-something. 66,
I think is correct. Yeah.
This stuff is really soft. I like to touch it. Let's just be real with ourselves. This has been too long, but it's been very fun.
It's been great. It's been great catching up.
Great catching up. We'll see you for sure sometime next month.
We're going to be talking about the Marvels.
Oh yeah,
the next MCU movie is coming out. Got to see that.
We'll talk about the Killer, probably. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I don't remember. There's another movie. There's another movie. There's got to be another one. Lego Movie 3. I don't know.
Can you imagine? That'd be great.
The Lego Batman movie too. I've compiled an X-Men movies official ranking. If you're interested.
Hunger
in that.
Games.
Oh yeah, Hunger Games: The
Games
Ballad of
comes
Songbirds and Snakes. We'll
Rebel Moon comes out.
Oh
no, that's
December. You haven't forgot about that movie, right?
No, they're doing cinema release.
The hype that I have been building for this movie.
Zack Snyder.
If this is a creator, if this is a creator situation where the movie kind of blows, my heart's gonna be broken, and I'm just gonna be like, hey guys, can you guys just make a movie that's good? Can you guys make a Star Wars ripoff that's good? So Star Wars can get their act together and actually make good movies.
And decided to make good movies instead of boring movies. I think that'd be a great idea.
You remember when you guys made Puss in Boots: The Last Wish? Remember when you guys made a good movie?
Really good movie about life and death and fear and anxiety. Yeah, I loved it.
Remember when you guys made Oppenheimer? Can we do that more than once a year?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Wow.
Man. Remember when you made Fast and Furious X?
Nope.
A really good one.
Did that movie come out?
Yes.
Remember when Jordan said he was going to make a PowerPoint?
No. Okay. So today I was thinking, I have a newfound desire to finish that PowerPoint.
A newfound.
And now that we're doing
Dom
one
Toretto?
episode a month. No, we're doing one episode a month. I can be like, I'm going to do this month, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's going to be really fun. I hope.
Yeah. So for the 1 month deal, we're gonna have like the new releases. We're gonna talk about them and kind of rank them, maybe. Mm-hmm. And then we're gonna play some games. Maybe we'll have some fun stuff, some trivia,
some snacks.
Some whose line is it anyway? Maybe grab your popcorn. And then I was also thinking about having individual videos, where we talk about the state of cinema the month. And we can kind of build up. We can kind of build up to our big video at the beginning of the year next year, where we have our full ranking of the movies, and because then we can have a more in-depth review and our personal feelings about these movies that we watched that month. We can talk in depth while it's still fresh in our memory, and then we don't have to rewatch all the movies we saw all year right at the end of the year, so we can make a good video at the end of the year, and we can just rewatch our videos, and you guys can rewatch our videos too, and like, oh yeah, that's what I thought about those things at the time. Is that still true today? And then maybe you can watch a select few at the time, right?
Yeah. And if you're just joining us now for the first time, welcome. We have a huge back catalog of
65 odd episodes.
Have a great time.
Yeah, go back and see what we feel about things.
And I mean, the end of the year is fast approaching. I mean, it's November, we are.
So probably, I'm thinking, whatever the first Tuesday of January is, I pump out my 2023 in review, year review of movies. And it'll be a ranking from bottom to top of all the movies I saw for the first time this year. But my plan is to have the movies that didn't come out in 2023 will not get a number ranking. It'll be like Dr. Sleep, bottom of the list, half a star, and it won't have a number, and then we'll climb up till we get.
People love that movie, man.
I don't know. I thought it was scary. I'm a bit of a baby when it comes to horror movies.
I feel
I watched a guy decay and then regenerate several times, and then turn into a cloud of dusty steam, and then the remaining cult members around him started eating his steam. All right,
eating his steam.
They were like, this was one of their best friends and mentors for thousands of years, as they live forever off the steam of other people. And then they're like, all right, time to eat the steam. Forget this guy.
Where did all this come from? Isn't this the same? Isn't this The Shining?
Yeah. So in the future, there's this.
We can't do this. we gotta go.
Ah, dang it.
Next time.
Okay, fine. Sorry. I don't even really want to talk about it. This movie scared me. I heard the crash of the tree outside last night, and I was looking, and I thought I saw like a deer's skull in the shadow, and I was like, "Let me close these blinds. I'm going to bed. Like, this is over."
Dang, dude.
I'll look for the tree in the daylight. Like I was gonna shine my flashlight out there, and I was like, and this is when a bow and arrow goes through my throat. Like, you know, like that's gonna happen in my suburb in the middle of Oregon.
The whistlers, they get you. They go,
oh my gosh, dude, that's
kill you.
That is really scary. I remember watching that.
It's spooky.
At dark, at night, alone in my bed, and I was terrified.
At dark.
At the whistles.
A little bit. Okay, we'll see you next week. Have a great time. Bye.
Bye.